Good afternoon, everyone. Today is December 8th, 2023. This is a special meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority being conducted in our New York City office and remotely via WebEx. Present today are Chair Lily Fan and Commissioner Edgar De Leon in our New York City office, Associate Counsel Jamie Gallagher in our Buffalo office, General Counsel Shannon Kearney-Sarfo in our Albany office, Juan Herrera from Licensing is appearing in remotely, and Paula Taylor from Secretary's office is in our Albany office. We have one item on our calendar today, and it's a request for a summary order of suspension. Item 12-8-2023-001, Club Marcella of Buffalo Limited.
Good morning, everybody. Jamie Gallagher appearing on behalf of the Liquor Authority. Before I start, Paula, I'm just confirming, because I don't see a red dot on the screen, we're recording and broadcasting and we're all set there?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great, thank you. Good morning, members. I'm here before you today to request a emergency order of summary suspension against a licensee known as Club Marcella of Buffalo. This is case number CS 23-30924. The presentation today is based on files from the Buffalo Police Department and the Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino, who provided us with some of their records. And they include arrest reports, complaint reports, incident reports, and the files of the State Liquor Authority. The evidence before you clearly demonstrates that the public's health, welfare, and safety imperatively require emergency action and warrant an emergency summary order of suspension. Most recently, on December 3rd, there was a shooting that took place inside of the establishment. Brief summary of the facts there. There was a patron who was lured into the premises bathroom by several other patrons. He was beaten and shot once in the abdomen. He's alive, he's in stable condition in the hospital. The shooting occurred inside the club. This club has an airport-style metal detector at the door and security. So at this point is a mystery as to how this weapon made its way in through the security checkpoint in this instance. But it's clear that there was a breakdown of security protocol that allowed such a thing to happen. And until we understand and know how the weapon got into the establishment, I think it's prudent to issue the suspension because this is not the first incident that has occurred of such a nature. Back in February of 2023, there was another patron who was shot in the chest inside of the club. He is deceased as a result. There is a homicide case open and pending with the Erie County District Attorney's Office. We did review that case at that time. And the gun was brought into the establishment covertly by the perpetrator throwing it over a fence in the backyard to a co-defendant. Security went out and confronted the co-defendant who was hiding behind a dumpster, and he said he was urinating back there, and so they allowed him back into the club with the weapon. So that's one point of entry that needs to be addressed if it hasn't yet, because these incidents keep happening. In that instance, the shooting itself was spontaneous in nature, and a pattern hadn't developed at that point yet, so we did not file charges at that time. But now, as we can see from what we've received, there's been a series of these incidents. There were two other shootings that occurred in parking lots surrounding the licensed premises. And I guess there, the connection to the establishment would be that the patrons were the victims. So, you know, I mean, even though it's not happening in the club, there's individuals going to that area and there's gunplay because of its existence there, you know. It's just an unfortunate situation. Additionally, the Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino provided us with copies of some of their materials. There was a nicely summarized PDF that they sent with all of the incidents listed. Most of these are connected demonstrably to the operation of the club or the conduct of the patrons, because these individuals are coming from Marcella in an intoxicated state and then engaging in disorderly behavior on the parking lots of the casino, where they're utilizing the casino's parking. So it's causing the casino to have to step in with additional security, and it's impacting their patrons and their operations as well. So I mean there's more in here, but that's a summary of what's happening. So I would submit to the members that the activities in and around the premises have resulted in injuries, arrests, summons, criminal proceedings, and are a danger to the public at large. Marcella patrons have come into parking lots of associated businesses highly intoxicated. The disorderly situations are being escalated, and the ongoing activity presents an imminent and grave threat to the patrons and employees of the licensee and the community at large, and it's recommended that the license immediately be summarily suspended. Thank you. Questions?
Jamie, I have two questions. Can you talk to me about the licensees? How long has the establishment been there? And what is the history of the licensee?
Of course, yeah. So Marcella has been around in Buffalo in one iteration or another for a very long time. It first opened up in the theater district of the city of Buffalo, which is sort of near the Chippewa Strip downtown entertainment area, near Shea's Theater. That was around 1994, and it was there for a number of years until, in one iteration or another, with the same owners.
Same owners as these licensees who are on the license now, today?
Correct, yes. They've been
Okay.
long time licensees of this establishment.
Okay.
And they did some remodeling a few years ago, and then they were issued a new license after that occurred. And then they ended up moving from Theater Place, where they weren't really having significant issues like this, over to their new location. Okay, it's a little bit more remote over there, and I feel as though like the operation has changed a little bit in terms of like, it used to be a bar. It's a gay bar, and they used to have drag shows, and it was like very fun, and a lot of people from the community would go to these shows, especially after the theater productions would let out, and it was part of the Chippewa community, and I'm not really sure what's happening with the clientele right now, but it appears that this latest shooting, at least, and the one prior to it, were probably gang related. There's some drive-by shootings happening. Part of the allegation of the most recent shooting is that it was retaliatory because the victim had robbed somebody's baby's mother a few years prior, and he had just gotten out of jail. So it was, a spontaneous thing where they lured him into the bathroom. There was nothing that occurred in the establishment beforehand that would, lead the licensee to believe that this was going to happen. I wouldn't say it was foreseeable in that sense, but there's a pattern here now, an unfortunate pattern of these violent incidences, and we have to figure out what's going on. So, yeah.
Okay. And what is the size of this club? What is the capacity?
Not the method of operation, but let me see if the diagram has any information about the size on it. Okay, I don't have the size available in what's in front of me right now because I did not attach the method of operation to this. But there are diagrams contained in Exhibit 14. It's quite large.
Right.
It's a freestanding building, and they have, you go in through a main entrance, and there's a check-in point where you can check your coat. Oh, that's another thing. You don't have to check your coat when you go in there, so that might be something that we can address, you know? I mean, I've never seen a club where you don't have to check your coat when you go in.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's one thing that could be looked at. So you go in, there's a coat check, it's $7. You go in through the metals, and then there's like a starter club area, a main club, there's the patio, which is fully fenced in.
Okay. Right, and what has the city of Buffalo do?
The city of Buffalo issued a closure order. Okay, and I'm assuming that they're in negotiations with the licensee, but it just happened within the last several days.
Okay. So they're shut right now by the city of Buffalo?
Correct, yes.
All right, Commissioner?
I don't have any questions. I'm ready to vote.
Okay. Are you ready to vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
And based on evidence submitted by our counsel, Jamie Gallagher, and also evidence provided by the police in the city of Buffalo, and also a complaint letter from Seneca Nation, which is a neighboring casino, I am voting to summarily suspend this license due to imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare.
Okay, and Commissioner?
Thank you. We have a report of 4 shootings within the span of 1 year. One of them resulting in the homicide or the death of an individual, as well as a reported 131 service calls, and we've just been informed that the city of Buffalo has closed the location. So I do find that there is a concern regarding public health, safety, and welfare that requires immediate attention so we can resolve the issues that are out there, and that there is a rational basis for voting for an immediate summary suspension, and I so vote.
Okay, thank you. Eric, do you have anything, any business, anything further?
No, I don't have another matter. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, so
Thank
the
you.
meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.